everybody, welcome back to CCSabers. Today we have the Darth Maul Rebels Saber here. We're going to be looking over everything that's going to be included when you get the Saber. Let's quickly go through it. First, you have the box here in the back that is going to be shipped with your Saber. And then we have 2 blades. And then we have 2 blade plugs, a stand, your USB and your hex key and screws, as well as another screw. And then I mentioned the USB before, but this is used for customization. So here is that, as well as the manual here. And the most important thing is the hilt itself. Ouch, I just hurt myself. And then the charging cord. Be aware, this hilt is going to be quite sharp, so be careful when you use it. But let's take a closer look at the Saber. So here is the hilt. We're going to just go through it from end to end here and kind of explain what's going on with this hilt. So we have, first of all, we have 2 emitters, one at this end, and then we have another as well at the bottom. And then we're going to start with this emitter and then just move our way down. So again, here is the emitter itself on the inside, but with this emitter, it has 1 big curved section and 2 on the sides. And I'm just going to mention this for safety reasons. This end is very sharp, as well as the 2 sides kind of here. It's going to be a little bit sharp. It's going to hurt. Just got to put that warning out there. But that is the emitter. Everything is made out of aluminum, but let's move on down to kind of like this grip section right here. It has little cutouts on either side, and this is where the power button is housed. So you have the power button here. If you've seen all of our other videos with this kind of layout, you probably recognize it, but for people who do not know, I'm going to explain what it is very quickly. This turns on and off the Saber, as well as using the sound effects and the light effects, and to change the color or to change the style of the blade. Now we continue going down. We have these light decorations on either side. So it's kind of like a clear plasticky material. That just kind of brings the Saber in its grip section all together. And then we also have the charging port right here. Now, as we continue going down to the other emitter, we have this kind of like clear section. It has like holes all over the side to let light go through. I'm just going to turn on really quickly to show you guys, but you see the light going through so you can see the kyber crystal. And I think that's like a really cool feature on this. And then we move down to the other emitter. It's just very simple, but overall this hilt just looks amazing. And I'm so excited to show you the inside. So here we have the inside of the chassis. If you're wondering how to disassemble it, there is going to be a video at the end in the link to show you how to disassemble one of these NeoPixel Blade Sabers. But let's take a look. So again, we have both emitters on each end. This is a plastic chassis. And then you have the charging port up top, the power on the bottom, and then you have the NeoPixel blade, well, the NeoPixel board right here, and the rechargeable battery on the back. Now I'm going to show you how to assemble the blade into the hilt and what functions are in this Saber. So now I'm going to show you how to install both ends for the blades on the emitter. So first, we're going to start off with this one because it's probably the coolest part, but also it's just very much easier to install. So you're going to take your blade and push it into the hilt like so. And then you're going to take your hex key / hex screw and tighten it. Give it one more push to see if it's pushed all the way down. We're going to test it out to see if it works, and it does. And we're going to turn it off.
Low battery.
And then we're going to push in on the other side and install. It's just easier if you hold it vertically instead of pushing down on the table. But you're going to tighten it, give it a little push, and tighten. And tighten like so. I like to give it one final little push to see if it's fully installed. And
power on.
there you go. So also, forgot to mention, but the speaker, this is where the sound pummel is, so you can hear all the sound. So we're going to explain after you install the blades into the hilt. So now, first of all, how do you turn it on? First, you just gotta click so to turn it on. And then once it is on, you're like, how do I turn it off? You have two ways. One by holding the button, like so, to turn it off. And then once it is off, you let it blink once to change the volume. So you go like this.
Power on.
And then let it blink once. One.
Volume low.
Now it's on low volume. And then you let it blink twice for the kind of blade.
Candy blade.
It is now the candy blade. And then there we go. Here's the candy blade. Now we turn it off. Like so. Let it blink twice to change, 3 times to change the blade, not the blade type, but the ignition type. So we go 1, 2, 3.
Photon ignition.
And it's the photon ignition. We turn it on for you guys to see. Boom, there you go. And then turn it off again. And then 4 is for the preset. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Moon field.
Now it's on the moon field setting. I think that is one of them. And we turn it off like so.
Low battery.
And then that's how you use it while it is off. So now I'm going to show you while the blade's on. First we got to turn it on like so. There we go. And say if you want the blast and clash and lock up sound effects, you just let it blink once. Well, you click it once, so like that. So that is the blast sound effect. And then the clash is on the hilt. And then the lockup, you just gotta hold for like a half a second. And then we have the lockup going on this end here. You just click it once to have it stop. Let it blink once to change the blade color. So 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Color change.
There we go. That is the colors change. Say we want this yellow screen color.
Selected.
Now it's color selected. You just got to hit it one more time. And then if you ever want to turn it on and off, you just use right and left to use the motion control. Okay, that looks like it is the end of the video. If you want to see another one, click right up here or somewhere on screen. I don't know where our editor is going to put it. But if you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. It would be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you in another video. Bye, guys!